Hey everybody, Patti Tolley Parrish here with Inky Obsessions.blogspot.com. It occurred to me the other day that you guys don't know all about me, other than the information you may have gotten off of a stray milk carton here or there. There's more to know. So we were getting ready for this yard sale I talked about a month or two ago that actually never happened because I was afraid I'd end up wrestling in my front yard, having a big throwdown over a $100 item. Somebody offered me a quarter for it, so thought I would just donate it instead. Anyway, back to the point. I know, squirrel. I found a bag of hats. So that reminded me of a story that is a big part of my life. And some of you who are friends of mine that live local and you know the story already, so you can hit pause, delete, skip, whatever. But I'm going to tell the rest of you because I think you should know. But the main reason for me going through all this gyration to tell the story is because if it can help one person, then it's worth it. So that's why I've told so many people, because somebody always knows somebody that's in a similar situation. So let's get down to it, shall we? The story is about how my husband and I met. And I'm 56 now, and oh God, I'm doing the looking down thing at myself again. Sweet Jesus. I gotta block the screen. I'm doing this on my laptop, so my whole screen is my face. Oh, that's lovely. And I gotta look above that, and I keep looking at myself. I do this every time. Okay, trying to do better. Pardon the eyes. Maybe you just want to turn off the video and listen to the audio, and even that's painful. So, I am 56. My husband and I have just been married over 3 years. It'll be 4 years in September. So the story is of how we met. So in October of '06, I was, out of the blue, diagnosed with invasive duct carcinoma, which is a type of breast cancer. Perfectly healthy, vital, nothing wrong, no symptoms. Thank God for the mammogram. That's what caught me. That's what caught it and literally saved my life. So they caught it in the end of October. I had a mastectomy on my right side in November, and lymph nodes removed on my right side, and I started chemo in December. So I was single at the time, and I lived close to my mom and dad. My dad's no longer with us, God love him, but he was taking care of me too. So for like 8 weeks out of my surgery, I had complications, and I had to, I didn't have to, but I stayed with them. They helped me out a lot. Wouldn't have been able to do it, probably. And then after we got the complications squared away, I started chemo on December 22nd. Can you see my hot flash? This is one of my leftover little treats from my chemo. As my first chemo threw me into menopause. Started with hot flashes then, and by jiggities, I still got them. But that's okay. I'm here to bitch about it. Oh, probably shouldn't have said that. Drink a little cold water to cool the core down. So, I had 16 rounds of chemo. And by January, I had gone through I was getting ready to do my third treatment. The first 4 were the real boogers, but and then I had 12 after those. I was bored out of my skull. I lived by myself. I was doing better that I could go back to my house and have my bed, my computer, my stuff, my TV, my home. I would stay with my mom and dad. My mom took me to every treatment, and my brother and sister-in-law, who is, God bless her, is no longer with us either. Both lost she and my dad both in 2010. Actually, yesterday was 3 years for Janine. And anyway, I would Mom would take me to chemo. We'd meet everybody there. Chelsea, my niece, would bring me a Slurpee every treatment because I had to keep ice in my mouth for one of the drugs because it would cause mouth sores. So she'd swing by and grab me a Slurpee and bring it over, which worked, actually. So I would stay a first couple days with my mom and dad, and then after I got over the big hump, I went back home. And I'd stay at home for that week, and then the next treatment I'd go back, so it was back and forth. But it was the middle of winter in Baltimore. I was bored out of my gourd, and as I've worked since I was 13 years old, I just was always out on the move doing something. So I decided, well, I'm trying to think of things I could do for entertainment value, so I didn't go completely stir crazy, batshit crazy. So I was thinking to myself, what can I do? And I thought, oh yeah, brilliant idea. Why don't you get on Match.com? Well, yeah, I know, right? So I actually had done Match.com some years before that. And then I had decided, you know what, I think I do better in person. I'm not going to do this anymore. But I still had a copy of my profile that I had submitted on my hard drive. So I was looking at that and I thought, all right, let me tweak this baby a little bit and see what I can come up with here. So I added a paragraph that I titled Full Disclosure. And in that full disclosure paragraph, I said, I don't know the exact wording, but basically, this is my reality as I know it. I was diagnosed with breast cancer in October. I had a mastectomy in November. Started chemo in December. Every week or two, I might feel well enough to grab a bite to eat or see a movie. I may never look like my pictures again, but I still like to have fun. I'm still who I always was. And this is mine and God's way of separating the men from the boys. So if you're still interested, drop me a line. So my girlfriends were saying, who in the hell but you would get on Match.com with one boob hacked off and bald as a cue ball? I don't know. Anyway, I did. So I actually had 3 dates. I won't bore you with the first 2. So I guess you can see where I'm going with the story. So I had a first date. Was fine. Second date, not so fine. Pardon me, readjusting in my chair. I'm falling into my damn chair. So Dave, my husband, had emailed me, and I was just getting ready to meet date number 2 in person, and we had talked for weeks until his schedule aligned with my ability to be human for a lunch or a dinner or whatever it was. And so he said, well, if that doesn't work out, drop me a line. So that didn't work out. So number 2 wasn't even off my street, and I was up on the computer. Dear Dave. So we emailed a couple times, and he sent me a cell phone number, and he said, when you feel comfortable enough that you feel like talking on the phone, here's my number. You can give me a call when you feel like it. So I called him, and we're having our first conversation, and I thought, this guy sounds freakishly normal. What the hell is happening here? So in the conversation, I said, did you read my whole profile? And he said, yeah, I did. He said, that's kind of what drew me to you. And he said, I love the way you put it out there, all the cards on the table, and you made it funny. And he said, but now I have some full disclosure for you. And I thought, there it is. There's the hook. I knew it was coming. So he used to be a woman. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Or he just got out of prison. Not that there's anything wrong with that. And I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop. And he said, 5 years ago, I was diagnosed with breast cancer. I had a double mastectomy, chemo, and radiation, and I'm fine, and you'll be fine too. I get goosebumps up the back of my neck every time I say it myself when I was there. But so we went out on a first date. and it felt like I knew him for 30 years. It was very comfortable. We kept going out as it got, I'd have a treatment. Some of our dates consisted of him bringing over soup and a movie, and I'd get bundled up on the sofa, and God bless him, he'd sit in the big chair next to me, and we'd watch the movie. I might make it halfway till I nodded out. He'd make sure I was tucked in and comfortable and lock the door behind him. And that was a lot of our dates, right, at first, when I was still, having all the chemo. So he came into my life in February of '07, and so I was probably on my probably third treatment by then. So I had a lot more treatments to go. So it was months of chemo ahead of me. And he was there for the whole time. When I had a treatment, he knew exactly how I felt. He got it firsthand. So, he was always checking on me to see, are you comfortable? Are you tired? Do you have to lay down? What do you think you can eat? And it was just a saint. And so the end of that year, I stopped chemo in May, and it was, still kind of dragging, but, we dated. And the end of that year, I moved in with him, and then we decided we were just probably going toward the way of going permanent here, so I ended up coming around the next year, sold my house, and we got engaged on 8/8/08, and we got married on 9/9/09. 10/10/10, he went on a golf trip, but it doesn't make him a bad person. So, anyway, true story, real story, happened to me, I was there. And to make it even more out there, far-fetched, whatever you want to say, unusual or unlikely to have happened, I just signed up for 1 month on Match.com, so I was only going to be on there for 1 month for some yucks, and if I yucked, I yucked, and if I didn't, who cared? Give me something to do. Dave wasn't interested in signing up at all, and his very good friend Jody, who he's worked with and known for 30 or more years probably, kept trying to talk him into getting on Match.com. Everybody he knew, he's such a good guy, everybody he knew was trying to matchmake him, and so she actually signed up for him. She did his profile. She searched out matches, and she searched out, I don't know, she said 7 or 8, 9 of them, and printed them out. And she put them all on his desk and said, here you go. These are the ones I think you should pick through, but save yourself some time because this is the one right here. She said, I don't know why. She tells me even today, she said, I don't know what it is, Patti. She said, when I saw your picture and read those words, I knew that you were going to end up with Dave. I knew you had to be together. I don't know. I said it was the strangest feeling. So, you got your way, Jody. I hope you're happy. Just very much kidding on that one. He is a gem. God bless him. And I wouldn't trade him for anything. But I used to always tease him. He said, why do you tell everybody that story? And I always used to kid him and say, one day I'm going to tell this story on Oprah. Of course, she gave up the damn show, and now I got to tell it on YouTube. But my purpose is to tell the story, to share that so many women and men are getting diagnosed these days with breast cancer and among other horrible illnesses. If I help one person, especially if there's a single person that gets diagnosed and they think, oh my God, my life's over, I'm going to be mutilated, who's going to want me? Well, my message to you, if you're listening, is the right person will want you. If somebody wants you because of your boobs, you got to move on whether you have cancer or not. And it's a good way to weed him out, let me tell you. Because he's not my first husband, but he will be my last. But, so anyway, that's my story. What else did I want to tell you? My brother, God love him, my brother Skip, when I was just found out about my mastectomy and found out that I had to go back again, and they called me in, and we ended up doing 10 biopsies that day, and I thought they were pretty sure, but they weren't definite until, of course, the biopsies came back. And I was fine the whole time, and I walked out of the parking lot by myself, and I thought, oh my God, I've got to tell my mom and dad that I might have to tell them that I have breast cancer. And that's when I cried. That's the only time that I cried, thinking, my dad had lung cancer. How am I going to tell my dad and my mom that their daughter has breast cancer? And that's what upset me. So I called Skip, and he said, don't tell him yet. We're not going to tell him anything until we know for sure. And we don't know for sure yet. And I'll take you to all your appointments, and we'll find out together and figure out what we're going to do. So God love him. He came to pick me up the day that we went over and got my results. And the doctor, she's awesome, Kristen, she reached over and she held my hand. We were sitting at a little round table. And she said, Patty, I'm really sorry to tell you that all 10 biopsies are positive. You do have cancer. But it's my job to save you, and that's what I intend to do. Oops, sorry. That one grabs me. And she did. So now you guys got to deal with me. But we were leaving that day from the office, and my brother said, you know why this is happening? And I said, well, no, not really. And he said, sorry. He said, God's trying to get your attention and put you on a completely different path than where you are now and where you're headed. Although it wasn't a bad path. It was just, could use some improvement. So he said, sorry, you won't know now. It won't make sense to you now. But one day you'll turn around and you'll say, this is where I'm supposed to be. Because had this not happened to me, I wouldn't be here. And that here is married to Dave. And had I not had cancer, I'd have never gotten back on Match.com. We lived on opposite sides of Baltimore. Our circles of friends didn't intersect in any way. I was only on for 1 month. He signed up against his will for 1 month. God bless you, Jody. And so it was very unlikely that we would have met otherwise. A lot of people that know we both have had cancer think that we met in chemo, and that's not the case at all. Met on Match.com. So if you have girlfriends telling you, if you got one boob hacked off and you're bald as a cue ball, you shouldn't be on Match.com, ignore them. Do it anyway. Here's my strategy. I figured that if I put on a funky cool hat, which is what I prompted this whole thing that I found in a bag, some big earrings, I had one eyelash left, and I put about 3 or 4 coats of mascara on that puppy. Nobody would know I was bald. Just saying. So, I don't think that really worked, but who cares? Hair's hair. It grows back. Look, I got hair. Oh, God. Not that. Oh, the reverse fluff again. Well, we're not even going to worry about the hair. Actually, any day is a good hair day once you've been bald. Trust me on that, girls and boys. So, I don't know. I just felt compelled to share that with you guys and let you know a little bit more about my backgrounds. I've been coming virtually friendly with some of the people that have been consistently following my blog and my YouTube videos and on Facebook. So, anyway, now you know. If you know Oprah, put in a good word for me. Okay, again, it's Patti Tolley Parrish. And my blog is inkyobsessions.blogspot.com. I'm Patti Tolley Parrish on Facebook. And if you're seeing this, you know where I am on YouTube. I'm in perfect health now. My husband and I are both in remission. Dave is, in July he'll be 11 years out, which is, the 10-year mark was a huge milestone. I will be 7 years out in October. So that 5-year mark is a big milestone. So we're both in remission and clear and healthy and very happy together. So when you wake up in the morning, don't worry about your age or what you look like. Look out the window. If it's raining, Rain's pretty. If the sun's shining, go out and look at the sun and enjoy it. It's all small stuff. Get it into focus. Don't sweat the small stuff. Life's too short to worry about stuff like that. And when you get a reality check like that, like I had and too many people have, and puts things in perspective, life's much sweeter. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. So anyway, if you know somebody that you think this can help out, point them there. And if you have somebody close to you that you really think would benefit from that, inbox me on Facebook, and I'll give you my mobile number. I'll be happy to talk to them, because sometimes that's all it takes. So talk to you later.